Welcome back to another Eligible Monster Listcussion. This is part 2 of the 10 nasty video game levels designed to torture you.
The second part of the whole.
We were gonna do 10 things, but as we've discovered, whenever we have 10, sometimes Rob will talk a lot.
Yeah. Actually, it's kind of both your faults.
We've learned the magic number is 5.
5 to 7.
5 to 7.
5 to 7 makes a good episode.
7, and
7's good.
It won't get done.
Yeah, so, see, Natalie and I have talked about this when she's looking for lists. I'm like, we need 5 to 7.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually making them. This time I just stopped making them. I just give him the website right away.
Yeah.
And I'm
so
just like,
this
just,
is the
just
What
make it
Culture,
work.
10 nasty video games.
Yes.
Starting with number 5, picking up where we left off. If you
Yes.
missed last week's episode or the other day, I don't know when these came out.
Yeah.
I should mess with people and put them out of order.
No, don't
we'll
do that.
5 to
That
1
would be
and then
hilarious.
10 to 6.
Yeah, make sure you guys check out the last week's episode. It's like people are like, but I don't see it anywhere. It's like, well, it's there. Just keep looking. Just keep watching them until you find them.
That would be awful, Ron.
Oh man,
You're such a terrible person.
So number 5 is the library in Halo, and oh my god, did I hate that.
Oh, in the first Halo?
Yes.
Yes, that was. Oh
It's
my
just
God.
repeat. I remember Natalie and I were trying to go through that on Legendary.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is
screw that.
Well, you know, I mean,
so annoying.
There's that, and there's also the fact that he's a terrible co-op partner. He will die constantly.
No, I won't. It's just Halo, and I know if I die, you'll just pull me back later.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
is
That's
true.
what I mean. That's
Yeah,
exactly
that
what
is
I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
So-
I mean, it's Halo.
That's exactly right.
You're like, I'm going to check a tweet, so, oh no, I died.
You check a tweet.
Or watch a show at the same time. You know, not paying
So
attention.
basically, if you don't know what it is, it's a level with constantly repeating visuals and the flood just coming at you.
Yes.
And it's crazy
Yeah.
because every hallway looks the same.
Yes.
And so you get turned around so badly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
nuts.
It is not a good thing at all.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
number 4,
was it?
another Dark Souls. Dark Souls 3, Fair on Keep. I don't remember this one.
That's
Yeah, I
because you
never played
haven't,
it.
because you weren't really big into Dark Souls 3.
I
too
played
much.
all of them, all the way through.
I know, but you were not as big as you were in Dark Souls 1.
What about Dark Souls 4?
There's,
They-
there's,
that
no-
was-
there's
that
never
was
going to be a
that.
Dark Souls 4, unfortunately.
ended it.
There's no Dark Souls 4?
But you're going to
ended
have
the
to go
series.
with Bloodborne or Code Vein now. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they said they're only
You-
making 3 and then
yeah,
done with it.
they ended it. It's over. Unfortunately.
So there will not be a Dark Souls 4.
No.
No, but instead they're making pretty much a carbon copy with faster combat, Bloodborne, and it gets 2 more sequels.
Actually, well, that Bloodborne came out before Dark Souls 3, but people already know
Yeah, they
that
launched
Bloodborne
another
2 is
franchise,
coming.
basically, a
Hold on,
carbon copy
so
franchise.
It's a PlayStation exclusive, and it did so well that they're actually probably going to bring it
So
back.
it's a
hopefully.
sequel to Dark Souls, but it was out before Dark Souls?
No. That's
So-
a completely different.
Okay, I'm gonna explain
oh,
this thing to him real fast.
Sure, go for it.
No, like how this. So there's a game called Demon Souls.
Yes.
Okay, from Software.
Well, I thought we were talking about Dark Souls.
No, this starts with Demon Souls.
This is gonna be
So
good.
Demon Souls
This is gonna
is
be good.
you're gonna be so okay. So Demon Souls is a separate game. It was a PlayStation exclusive, but it didn't sell. It did not do well.
Okay.
It was very difficult, but it was arena based. It wasn't exploration or anything like that. It was arena based. So it didn't do well,
Fun
and
side
Sony
note.
ended the licensing deal to have it exclusive.
A fun side note: they just ended the whole support of Demon Souls like not too long ago.
Did they?
Yeah. Sorry.
So they ended. So that was the first one. It came out, didn't do that well. Sony moved on. From Software then released Dark Souls because they didn't have the rights to Demon Souls. Sony owned it, but Sony didn't want to continue it. So we own it. You can't touch it. So in response, they made Dark Souls a spiritual successor to Demon Souls because they wanted to continue making the game.
Okay.
almost
That
the
game
same
was released
game.
on all systems at the time,
Yeah.
and it was a smash hit success because of the difficulty and everything in it. Right.
I
So
don't understand that. Why would people enjoy playing a game
Challenge.
that's so frustrating?
Challenge.
it's just challenge. It's just different reasons to play different games. Why would you want to farm? Joking aside, I would not farm one thing for 8 hours in any game, but you would. That's what I'm saying. Like depending on the game and what you want out
Because
of
you
it.
want to be the best at the game. You want to have the best
did,
gear.
You did. You came over here bragging how you got fraction tokens.
Oh, I did that for like 45 minutes.
No, you
No,
came over bragging it was
Rob.
8 hours. You
Oh,
can't-
no,
we
Rob.
have previous episodes where you have said it.
Rob. Every
All I'm
time,
saying is everyone
Every
plays games for
time-
different reasons.
I did kind of do that.
every
Yeah.
time I get on Battle.net, I would always see you on Destiny doing
Yeah.
something.
Speak up.
I did.
You're just being quiet.
I can't
Yeah,
tell.
Natalie, you got to talk louder.
I can't tell
so
because
people
of
can
this.
hear you,
I'm
Natalie.
sorry. I'm sorry.
You're talking so quiet, Natalie.
I'm sorry.
Anyway,
It's hard to hear
so
you.
they came. They came out with Dark Souls.
So
Dark Souls did super well.
No, I thought we were talking about Demon Souls.
Right, no.
We moved on to Dark Souls already.
I know
That's
he's trolling me.
No, so
but
Demon Souls,
So
Dark
Demon
Souls 1,
Souls
Dark
didn't
Souls 2,
sell.
Dark
Right.
Souls 3.
So they made Demon Souls into Dark Souls.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and that's where we are.
No, so Dark Souls then did really well. 1 and 2 sold like crazy.
Yes.
There's a helicopter. The's a plane flying.
Duck!
The bikes aren't going to pick up the plane, Rob. Now everyone's going to be like, where's the plane? Where's the plane? Dylan, do a plane over the screen. I just Anyway, have it land on Rob's nose.
Did you ever see that video on YouTube?
Oh my
where
god,
that
Rob,
chick
no!
was snoring?
No!
There's this chick was snoring, and like she sounded like a plane when she was snoring. And so
I
they
think
had
I've
like the
seen
plane
that.
that like
I
went
think-
by every
yes,
time she snored.
I've seen that one. It's
that
so
was
good.
hilarious.
It's
I
so
love
good.
So they made Dark Souls 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Well, of course, the game sold like gangbusters, so Sony was then like, hey, we'd like an exclusivity again.
Why did
Yeah.
they tell them to go away? Like, no.
Well,
It's
because I
essentially-
guarantee you, Sony threw a ton of money at them to get
Oh, yeah.
them to make another game.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is essentially just a faster paced Dark Souls.
Right.
That's what it is.
So they came out with Bloodborne.
Yes.
And so we did 2. We got Bloodborne, Sony exclusive. It was all about faster paced combat, but it was still the challenge, the
and
difficult.
all about the
And it was-
parry and just the
Right.
It was just it was a different combat system, but it was still the same. It was a Souls game essentially.
And it also takes place in more of a Cthulhian kind of universe, as
Yeah.
opposed to being more Dark Souls, which is more medieval in its own universe. They kind of took a lot of Cthulhu ideas, put them into Bloodborne.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's cool, I guess.
Jeez.
Well, so
Amygdala.
anyway, that sold like crazy.
Yes.
Dark Souls 3 came out, and From Software's like, okay, we're done with Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Like, because at this point now, everyone knows what to expect. You know how the game plays. Even they kind of dummied them down a little to make them more general populace. But
yeah.
in general, people understood the games better.
Let's be honest, though.
It was losing its reputation as being a super
Yeah.
hard game because
Oh, Dark Souls 3 was definitely not hard at all.
that's what I mean.
Jesus
Like at that
Christ.
point, you knew how
No.
the game plays.
And also the
Yeah.
fact that with the DLCs that they came out with, it did not beat Bloodborne's DLCs at all. It was just so bad. They made us pay like for a shit ton of money for a mediocre DLC
Yeah.
that Bloodborne did like 10 times better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds like Destiny too.
So they ended Dark Souls, but they've said
Yeah.
they're going to continue doing Bloodborne since that's their Sony exclusive now.
So, crossing my fingers for Bloodborne 2. Anytime now. Anytime. But in the meantime, we have Code Vein coming up. It's pretty much anime Souls.
Anime-based version. You'd never play that one. You probably won't play any of them.
Yeah, probably not.
So anyway,
Yeah, I don't
moving
play
on
those
with our
weird
list
anime
here.
games.
The second game on here is this particular town. Explain this town because I don't remember this town. Farron Watch.
Fair and Watch, is that like the... It's not the... It's the castle, right?
It's a place where they watch
it's
fairies?
the thing before the Abyss Watcher's domain. Do you remember it all? Or should I just read this?
Read it,
Okay.
please.
To nudge the door to the Abyss Watcher's domain, you have to get Ashen one's feet back on solid ground. You'll have to rekindle 3 fires scattered about a dank, swampy-looking, sandy-looking swamp.
Oh god, the swamp area. Because you get invaded too. That's so bad, dude. Oh, I hated it.
So the game,
Oh.
all of the games also work off an idea.
No. You get invaded. Plus, there are NPCs against you too. So you
Yeah.
have like at least 3 people against you. If you're alone, anyway.
The game works
that's
off on an
awful.
invasion and co-op
Yes.
system. So you can walk
So
up
you
to a
fuck
point
with other
and call in
people.
a buddy to help
Yes.
you. They can't
And
communicate,
people-
but they can help you with the combat.
People
But
That kind of
knew.
stuff that's why I would quit.
you could all. Well, that's where they make the difficulty. You can
Yeah.
also be invaded. So there's certain
People-
areas that you can walk into
Yeah.
where other players can invade you, and their purpose is to kill you.
Because people knew that this area was hell, so they'd be like, well, they already have like 2 or 3 NPCs working against them, so I'm just going to invade them and get a free kill, essentially.
Yeah.
Because there's already like 3 people ganking up on them, so it's an
Wow.
easy kill for them. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's awful.
That's like I always say, if at first you don't succeed,
With the crabs, I
give
think.
up.
No,
my
never in
I
Dark
don't think
Souls.
that that's a good philosophy to have in life.
No,
Rob.
if at first you don't succeed, then you praise the sun harder. That's what you do.
Praise the sun. Praise the sun more.
Yes.
Keep praising.
All right, so number 3 on this list is Tubular in Super Mario World.
Ooh.
Oh no, I love Tubular.
Did you?
Yes.
Well, then tell me about Tubular.
Okay, so Tubular was what you got to after Star Road. Like when you went through all the Star Road, then you went to the middle. You could jump up and it would take you to like all these crazy zonky levels that I believe were just randomly generated.
Oh,
I don't know if they did that back then or.
Yeah.
really?
Tubular is.
Yeah, it's one of like 9 levels or 6 levels or something like that. And I don't remember if they were exactly randomly generated, but it was insane how difficult they were.
Okay, that is supposed to be. That's why they're on here.
Yeah. It was bonkers. It was stuff like
I guess you're inflated and you have to like float the whole way through the level.
yes, that's the one that they're talking about. So there was I don't know if you remember in Super Mario World, there was one point where you could grab like a item or whatever it was, and it would turn you into like a balloon.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you would just float around. Well, in this one, you've got to dodge like all different kinds of stuff. Like you got to dodge fireballs, you got to dodge like spikes in the air, you got to dodge those football-looking things, you know.
Football dudes. I hated the football dudes.
Yeah, you got to, and it's not just like, oh, you got to go up a little bit, you know. So you got to go down, and you got to go up. And if at any point you get hit, you take damage and fall.
Oh,
and then
no.
that's the end.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
you only get one shot to make it across each time.
Only
Otherwise, you
got
got to start
one
all
shot.
over again.
Sorry, it's an Eminem
Yeah.
song.
And I don't think there were any checkpoint ribbons either. So
I don't remember anything about Super Mario World except I was
Yeah, I
young enough
don't
to be
either.
like Yoshi.
they were designed to be exceedingly difficult
Yeah.
levels.
Were they?
Yeah, they were designed to be insanely hard.
Okay.
I would use cheats. That's what I would
Really?
do. Yeah. Well, no, I
Aw.
mean like in an emulator. Back
Right,
in the
right.
old Super Nintendo, I would just get pissed off and quit. You know, I'd get mad.
Rob.
Yeah. Oh, I used to rage so bad at games back when I was younger.
Did you? All right. Well, the next one, and I don't know if you played this game, Rob. I know I did, and I was young enough that I will admit it. I quit every time at stage 2 of Battletoads.
I've never played that.
Okay, so Battletoads is a game, and I
Yes.
played a lot of it with my brother.
Yes.
But we were young. I don't remember when this game came out.
It was a Nintendo game.
It was like I had to be between like 8 and 13, but I was young enough that my brother and I would play just level 1 because it was
Why?
fun. It was a co-op game. You were
Just
these
level
toads,
1
and
though.
because level 2, you would get on these bikes, and you had to, and if you hit anything, you died.
You died.
One shot kill.
It was such a pain in the ass. Yeah.
Dude.
That's the old school Nintendo difficulty.
Yeah.
I kind
is
of
what
like
that
it
is.
though because now
Yeah,
everything
you
holds
love
your
it until
hand.
you start playing it.
And there was no
Yeah.
checkpoints, if I remember correctly. You
No.
just went all the way back to the beginning every time. One shot, you have to jump, you have to go under, you have to hit certain ramps. It's so annoying.
Yeah, Battletoads. God.
I think we may have actually gotten through that because I also remember the level where, and this is where we would always end up fighting against each other. Because in Battletoads, friendly fire worked, which
Yeah.
is why it was so much fun to play. So like, if my brother irritated me, I'd just go start punching him. But because maybe we did finally get through that because I remember there's a sequence where you're going down these ropes down this big tunnel and you could swing into each other. And I remember we could never work together to get through that because we
Really?
would always swing into each other.
You talking about you and Andy? Or
Yeah,
is that-
Andy. And
yeah.
I would accidentally hit Andy, and then of course he would get mad and like hit me back, and then it would just be like, our two
Of
characters
course.
I could definitely see that happen between you guys.
Oh man.
Just fighting in the game.
And that's how he took a knife to your finger.
Oh yeah, did you
and-
know Andy cut off my finger?
Yeah,
Right?
you told me about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the viewers of the channel and even the people who are watching this live stream right now. Speaking of the live stream, Dan, you did unhook your mic, right? Okay, I hear him typing over there.
Yeah, typing furiously. Yeah.
So when I was younger, my brother and I used to get in all kinds of fights. We did the backyard wrestling, like we were Hardy Boy fans and the Dudleys. Remember
Hardy
that?
Boy, yeah, I remember
the
Dudleys.
the Hardy Boys
Yeah.
going at it.
Yep.
And we always wanted to be like, I mean, we were young. We always wanted to be the Hardy Boys. We would like jump off furniture, hit each other. Well, so one day,
So parkour, pretty much.
huh? Yeah,
Parkour.
we were trying to do parkour. Yeah.
Oh, the Hardys were amazing.
Yeah.
They jump off like 10-foot ladders into like a table at ringside. Oh, it was amazing. Oh,
Remember
Hardy Boys were awesome.
tables, ladders, chairs matches.
Dude, that's the greatest match of all time. The one between the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, and the Dudleys.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yeah,
Yes.
but there's a
greatest match
reason.
of all time.
There's a reason
Yeah.
why these people are known, and not you, Ben.
Well, I
you
know.
should
So
take a
anyway,
hint.
so we used to fight all the time. Well, I remember when I was really young, I was definitely like 7, 8, 9.
Oh my
range.
God.
I was young. Because I remember the house we were in, and I remember how young I was when we lived in that house. My brother and I got in a huge fight, and he grabbed a pair of scissors.
A huge fight over what? I want to know.
I don't remember what it was about. He took a pair of scissors, and we were fighting and goofing at the same time. So I grabbed a piece of paper as a shield. Scissors beats paper, guys, but young Benny didn't know that. And he cut my finger off right here above the knuckle. And I remember the story my mom told me that when in the hospital, they didn't put me under. They just did local anesthesia to
Yeah.
reattach the little thing.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom telling me the story that my dad was standing there and he's watching them reattach my finger. And he just passed out.
Yeah.
Because the doctor was grabbing the tendons and just
Yeah.
yanking them out
Yeah.
of the finger
Yeah.
to reattach them and then putting them back. And my dad was just standing and just like,
I would pass out too, man. Oh, I probably would too.
man.
so.
That's crazy.
It still amazes me that your dad is like a preacher.
It hasn't been for years, but
But
yeah.
he looks like a biker, man.
Yeah.
He
It's the
does
funniest thing
now.
That's
ever.
the craziest thing, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
All right, so last one on the list. Speaking of the Dark Souls Bloodborne fiasco of this episode, Nightmare of Mensis, Bloodborne.
Don't remember that.
Well, you didn't play it. How would you remember it?
I don't
I never
honestly.
saw any videos on it.
Honestly, anything in Bloodborne, I can't ever think bad about, just because I spent so much time in this game. I loved every single minute of it. Even if it was challenging, I still love every single minute of it.
Yeah.
I don't remember this one at all.
What is it?
And I
Read
played
it.
a lot of Bloodborne.
Read it.
Nightmare
maybe.
isn't torturous. No, it was that'd be sugarcoating it. It's a realm of pure agony where awful gameplay concepts live, including but not limited to stealth mechanics in an action RPG, cheap enemies, and a hair-pulling boss encounter where victory is decided not by the player's skill but luck.
Is it?
Wow.
Is it the chalice, or is it like the DLC? Mikolash. Mikolash.
Yeah.
That. Oh yeah. Yes. Okay. That. Yeah.
So
Because.
tell us about this one, because I don't
Well,
remember this.
it's like a big maze essentially, and the guy will, at a certain percentage of his health, will just run through the library essentially.
Yeah.
And then if you lose sight of him, you might lose yourself in the maze as well. And it's just, if you lose yourself, then some monsters will just attack you, and you just have to get rid of them until you proceed to the next level to find Mikolish. And it's just a pain in
Was
the
that
ass.
the area with the guy whose head was in the cage?
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. That's Mikolish. Yeah. Yeah. It's just
The game's twisted, Rob.
Yeah,
it's,
that was really messed up.
and if you have a helper, usually the helper, will try and keep an eye on him. But if you're by yourself, it's very tough. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
But I didn't have any problems because I was on New Game
Because
Plus.
you're awesome. I get it,
I was on
Natalie.
New
I
Game
get
Plus. That's why, God.
I get it, Natalie.
I wasn't
She's
gonna
amazing.
say it.
Did you know
I
that,
wasn't
Rob?
gonna say it, but you know.
I'll take your all's word for it.
All right, so those are the last 5 of the top 10s list of the hardest, nastiest levels made to torture you.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree that those are some of the worst levels in gaming.
Yeah, the ones that I remember, yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I would give Battletoads the number 1. I would have given Battletoads
Yeah,
the
level
number
2.
1.
Honestly, I mean, I'll trust your opinion.
You know the Battletoads.
I do, but I'm blanking out right now.
Okay.
I really am. Yeah.
So anyway, if you guys are enjoying this, then don't forget to subscribe to Eligible Monster. If you will get an episode every Monday and Friday. And if you're watching this live over on Twitch, don't go anywhere, because we'll be filming more of these in a second after answering a few questions. If this went over well and we decided to film more of these on Twitch, it'll be every Thursday morning. So make sure you join us for that.
Yes.
Rob's on Twitter at Comics Explained. I'm at Comicstorian. That is the lovely Nathalie Zodical Candy.
Thank you.
She's my wife. I'm trying to butter her up.
Wow.
You know.
Wow. You don't need to,
To butter you up?
No, you
Why
really
not?
don't. Because I don't need no man. I'm good.
She's a strong, independent French woman who don't need no man.
Thank you. Thank you, Rob.
And
He
on
gets it.
that note, we'll see you guys next time. Right? I want to end on Rob doing that.
I wouldn't say like she's a strong. I wouldn't say you're like a strong black woman who don't need no man.
I thought you were going with that. But...
That's fine. That's
I think it would be
fine.
funny.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time right here at Eligible
Thank you.
Monster.
I know I am. I'm a strong black woman who don't need no man.